Muse, compare and contrast your experiences as a journalist working in Somalia versus your experiences working as a journalist in and for the BBC.
It is really interesting at that time when I was reporting to BBC, even VOA, Voice of America, because we are giving information as a freelance. They are calling us. We are working as a freelance usually, because just when you really give information or report, there is a, for example, demonstration happen, government is issues, something happen, some accident is explosion. There is always something. When you give that information, always you are a threat, because when you give what happened, the incident happened, but the group that really did that incident, or maybe the government, or maybe the other group, they don't like it, your information, and they hear, and all over the world is really broadcasted, or maybe or publish it, and then your life is threat. You harass it. You always number one. Your life is always threat. But that really is a real life. Always you have to take a risk. Once you reporting, you know what's going to happen. Either your family, either your life, or yourself. You have to hide. You know, always you know what is the consequences. As a journalist, as I told you earlier, you have to be really worried. Whatever you say, whether it's good or bad, even if you tell what happened is always threat, because the government or maybe the other group that really they don't like what you're saying, and always they come after you.
So, Muse, are you saying that when you worked at BBC, even though you were outside Somalia, that you thought your life was still in danger, reporting on issues back in Somalia?
Absolutely. No matter what. Once you travel, even they cannot catch you at that moment, they will wait, and maybe they will see you, or maybe some of your family will be hijacked, and they say, oh, we have your sister, we have your brother, we have somebody here. If you say again, it's like a mafia, because this Al-Qaeda or Al-Shabaab or dictatorship that time, they always, if they cannot catch you, they will catch somebody of your family, somebody of your loved ones, you know. Always they try to minimize you.
So tell me now about what you thought your efficacy was as a journalist. Did you think while you were working in Somalia you contributed to change at all, or was your work in vain?
Absolutely. I was really agent of changing at that time. I was thinking whatever happened, you will die one day, just to do something, because for the dictatorship, for the really miserable, really the low life of the people, the corruption, just we have to do something, and that's really, you know, we take a risk. And at that time I was a youth, I was young, not married, I was my life, but always was a threat. But that time it passed.
All right, so tell me now what it was like working with the BBC. Was it a great organization to work with? And if so, tell me in what ways BBC was a stellar or not stellar employer.
No, it was a stellar. It's one of the biggest organizations when it comes to the broadcasting in the world, almost close to the 100 years. But really, sometimes they cannot help you, they cannot defend you, because you see how many journalists were murdered or killed in Somalia. I can count over close to 1,000 people. Anybody who really pursue his dream as a journalism, he will cut maybe half of his life. He will be dead. Some I know before 30, they already get killed.
All right. So you made the transition from working in BBC, and then you came to Canada, right?
Absolutely.
All right. And then I think in your interview earlier on, you said you went back to school at Carleton University?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about what that was like going to school at Carleton.
Carleton is one of the greatest schools, as you know, when it comes to journalism, one of the most experienced places to get education, to get really life of journalism. But when you come here, you need to do something. And it was my passion to be a journalist. And I was trying, in Somalia you learn Italian, you learn as a French, but in Canada it's in English. One is you want to go further, either you are Frankfurt area, that will be fine. But if you are as an English side, you have to learn the language because you want to do something for as a journalism. That's why I went back to school, getting more experience even before I went to school, working Rogers, Omni, broadcasting, local radios, local newspapers. Just I built myself. And after I accumulated money experience as a portfolio, and that helps me to be what I get it from Carleton. And now you see I started my own newspaper, my own magazine, my own radio, as a really radio host, 2 radios. That's really is a blessing as a really, as a Somalian who's really living in Canada.